7 psychological signs you both have feelings, but no one admits it. Psychology tricks. When two people are into each other, but no one dares to say it, the room stays quiet, but the tension doesn't. You feel it in the air between you. It's not dramatic or Hollywood level romantic. It's more like a low, constant pull. You act normal, you talk about casual things, but under the surface there's this charge you can't quite switch off. Your logic says, relax, it's nothing, but your heartbeat and body language tell a different story. There's a line often attributed to Rumi: what you seek is seeking you. When it comes to attraction, that's more true than most people realize. If you've ever found yourself thinking, is she feeling this too? Or is it just me? You're not crazy. Psychology shows that when two people secretly like each other, certain signs start showing up that are almost impossible to fake. In this video, we're breaking down 7 psychological signs you both have feelings, but no one admits it yet. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's dive deeper into the real mechanics of attraction, desire, and all the things people feel but rarely say out loud. 1. Energy changes and body reactions. Now, let's take a deeper dive, because the first sign that two people secretly have feelings for each other is never loud or obvious. It's silent, electric, and it starts before a single word is spoken. That is the power of subconscious attraction, and if you're a high-value man learning how to attract women, you must recognize this energy for what it is: masculine energy meeting feminine curiosity. Don't ignore it. Don't deny it. Your body knows the truth before your mind finds the courage to admit it. You don't even have to see her walk in. Somehow your chest tightens, your posture improves, and your heartbeat quietly speeds up like it's answering a question nobody asked out loud. That is a weakness. That's instinct. That is your biology looking for connection. And here's the twist most men never understand. When attraction is mutual, the body reacts before logic approves the decision. You must pay attention, because this is where most men lose the moment. Don't stutter. Don't pretend you don't care. Be aware. Your physiology becomes an informant, exposing everything you try to hide. When she approaches, do you suddenly become more aware of your clothes? Do you touch your hair for no reason? Do you change how you stand, as if an invisible judge is grading your posture? That is your masculine energy recalibrating. And if you watch closely, she might do the same. Women don't announce attraction, they signal it. They glance at their reflection. They soften their voice just a little. They adjust their jewelry or touch their neck for no reason. Don't assume it's random. That's nature whispering, not noise. The moment your eyes meet, just for a second too long, is the moment everything changes. You don't stare. She doesn't stare. But neither of you look away fast enough. That is the spark pretending not to exist, and that 1-second pause is the psychological equivalent of touching without touching. If it were nothing, you'd forget it instantly. But you don't. It lingers. And if you're honest, that moment felt louder than any word either of you said all day. This is where things get interesting. When two people secretly like each other, their minds start scanning each other in silence. Not to judge, but to understand. It's the same way a thief examines a locked safe, carefully, quietly, hoping not to get caught. You notice their hands, their voice, the way they laugh. You start memorizing details you didn't mean to remember. And you catch them looking at you the same way. You both pretend to be casual, but your attention keeps returning like a boomerang with secrets. That is not coincidence. That is human psychology, and you must learn how to read it if you want to attract women without begging for validation. Don't make the mistake of thinking attraction is loud. It's often silent. It shows up in small pauses. It hides in the way silence feels heavy when you're standing next to them. You must be alert. A person can fake words, but they cannot fake body language, not for long. Their pupils dilate. Their voice shifts. Their posture changes when you arrive. Their eyes wander to your mouth, but never long enough to say something obvious. That's the dance, and every high-value man must learn the choreography if he wants to lead. But there's something deeper, the second sign. Conversations stop being routine. They become emotionally charged even when the topic is boring. How was your day? Suddenly feels like an invitation to undress the mind. Don't dismiss it. Don't let autopilot kill the connection. Be present. Listen to the tone, not just the words. When someone likes you, they drop their guard without meaning to. They reveal pieces of themselves they don't show others, dreams, fears, sleepless thoughts. They trust you with their unpolished self. And trust is never accidental. That is the foundation of attraction stronger than looks. Here's the truth. People talk to most others like robots, quick replies, shallow details, emotional autopilot. But when attraction exists between two people, conversation becomes slower, deeper, charged with the possibility of something bigger. That is where emotional intimacy begins, the kind most men crave but rarely recognize. Be bold. Don't rush it. Don't brag. Just listen and guide the conversation like a man who knows his value. Your masculine energy should never come from volume. It should come from calm certainty. Women notice that. They feel safe in it. That is how a high-value man earns respect without asking for it. Psychology reveals something powerful. When feelings are mutual, you don't talk to impress, you talk to connect. You ask questions that actually matter. You share things without rehearsing them first. You think about what they meant rather than just what they said. And suddenly, the mundane becomes meaningful. You replay conversations in your head. You remember tiny comments you shouldn't remember. You overanalyze simple gestures that somehow didn't feel simple. Don't be afraid of that. It means you're alive. It means something real is happening. And if you notice her doing the same, watching you a little longer, laughing a little softer, remembering things you said weeks ago, that's not politeness. That's interest. So don't hide behind fear. Don't waste time pretending you're numb. If her presence makes you feel more awake than usual, that is not weakness, it's direction. And if you're looking to truly attract women, stop chasing and start observing. Become the man who listens more than he talks, who moves with intention, who doesn't flinch under pressure. That is masculine energy. That is magnetic. That is how a high-value man commands attention without demanding it. Embrace it. Because sometimes, the difference between a love story and a missed opportunity is nothing more than the courage to admit what your heartbeat already knows. 2. Openness and emotional connection. Let's talk about the second undeniable sign, openness and emotional connection, the kind that slips through the cracks of casual conversation and exposes something real. And here's the first psychological clue you must understand. Humans do not open their heart to people they feel nothing for. That is a fact. That is female psychology at work. True openness requires emotional safety, and attraction often builds that safety faster than years of friendship ever could. Don't dismiss it. Don't overlook it. When two people secretly care, the walls don't fall with noise. They dissolve quietly, like ice melting under sunlight. And that is your first hint that something deeper is happening, one of the oldest psychology tricks nature ever designed. Watch the body language. It tells the truth long before words do. When you talk, they lean in, not dramatically, but unconsciously, as if your voice has its own gravity. Their eyes soften. Their tone changes. They don't speak to fill silence, they speak to connect. That is the moment you must notice. Their voice lowers like the conversation belongs to no one else. They listen, not to respond, but to understand. They remember the little things, the offhand comments, the story you told once and never brought up again. Why? Because to them, you are not just another person passing through their day. Your words carry weight. Your presence leaves an imprint. And here's where how to fall in love begins, not with grand gestures, but with attention. In the science of love, attention is oxygen. Without it, nothing grows. But don't think you're innocent. You remember their favorite coffee order. You recall the way they laugh when they're truly relaxed. You remember something they said 3 weeks ago, and you wonder why it stayed in your head. This is where psychology becomes personal. Your mind stores what your heart wants. You don't choose what sticks, you only choose whether to admit it. And that quiet replay in your head? That soft nostalgia for a moment that didn't seem important at the time? That is female psychology and male instinct holding hands in silence, and if you're not careful, you'll mistake it for coincidence. Don't. Be aware. Now here's the darker layer. The one nobody admits. The one everyone feels. Silent jealousy. Not loud. Not dramatic, just a subtle shift in energy. Someone else talks to them, and suddenly the atmosphere changes. Their smile tightens just slightly. Their shoulders stiffen. Their eyes move faster, as if trying not to care but caring anyway. They won't say a word, but they want your attention back. And when you see someone else catch their attention, you notice too. Not because you're controlling, not because you're possessive, but because caring always reveals itself in the shadows first. Don't misunderstand it. This is not toxicity. This is psychology, raw and unfiltered. A natural emotional reaction rooted deep in attraction. One of the most powerful psychology tricks of the human heart. And yet, you both pretend nothing is happening. You smile. You stay calm. You act unbothered. But inside, your mind says exactly what your heart is thinking. Why are they giving attention to someone else? They're supposed to look at me. If that sounds familiar, then don't lie to yourself. You're not imagining things. Something real is happening. That is how to fall in love without ever saying the word love. That is the unspoken war between silence and truth. Most adults feel it. Few admit it. And the ones who ignore it, they often regret it. Here's the part most men overlook, and it's the key to understanding female psychology on a deeper level. The connection doesn't need constant conversation. You don't need daily texts. You don't need a scoreboard of replies. Because the bond isn't based on frequency, it's built on intensity. That is why sometimes you can go days, even weeks without speaking. But when the conversation returns, it feels like you never paused. No awkwardness, no small talk, just instant reconnection, like the thread between you never snapped. Don't ignore that. Threads like that don't appear with just anybody. They appear when attraction combines with emotional safety, a rare chemistry that many chase, but few understand. And that right there is one of the purest psychology tricks of mutual feeling. So be smart. The observant. Don't rush to label things, but don't pretend they're meaningless. Every emotionally charged pause has a reason. Every remembered detail has a purpose. Every subtle change in posture, every softened tone, every brief flash of jealousy, all of it is data. And if you're learning how to fall in love without losing your composure, then you must learn to read that data with calm confidence. Not desperation, not fear, quiet awareness. When someone allows you to see their unfiltered self, that is the highest compliment a human being can give. You must treat it like gold. You must respond with presence, not pressure, because emotional safety is rare and attraction is its catalyst. Remember this. People don't open up because they feel like talking. They open up because they feel seen. That is the secret. That is the power. And if you ever find yourself in a conversation where time disappears, words feel lighter, thoughts get deeper, and silence somehow feels comfortable, don't run from it. Don't pretend it's nothing. That moment is the doorway. That moment is the truth trying to speak. And if both hearts are listening, perhaps that is exactly how to fall in love without ever saying it out loud. If this opened your eyes, don't just scroll act. Hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and drop a comment to show you're paying attention to the signs. Don't forget to subscribe for more psychology insights and real talk about connection, attraction, and emotional intelligence. Comment below to remember, I attract real connection because I listen and understand. Let that be a reminder that emotional safety, attention to detail, and genuine presence are not weaknesses, they are strengths. They are signs of emotional intelligence and the foundation of true connection. 3. Silent tension and mutual protection. You may act calm, you may act tough, but when someone truly leaves an emotional imprint, silence starts speaking louder than words. It is the kind of silence that fills a room like invisible gravity, the kind that breaks old Stoic wisdom. Because even the strongest Stoics eventually feel the pull of real human attachment. When someone matters, they don't just live in your life, they live in your mind, rent-free day and night. You try to distract yourself, you try to forget, you tell yourself to move on, but every time, something pulls you back. That pull is not weakness. It is proof something real is happening, even if both of you refuse to admit it. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." That is the truth you must face. Two people who secretly like each other can pretend to be just friends. They can pretend they're just being polite. They can bury their instincts under logic, but they cannot bury energy. Energy never lies. Behavior never lies. Even silence never lies. That is the first rule of attraction. It exposes you even when you try to hide. In modern life, we analyze messages, we rehearse responses, we strategize every word, but the real truth is revealed when logic fails and instinct takes control. That's when Stoicism win becomes difficult, because emotion breaks through the armor. If this sounds like your story, don't deny it. Don't overthink it. Don't run from it. You must rise above confusion with an iron mind. Sometimes the strongest sign of attraction is not what someone does, it's what they can't do. They can't ignore you. They can't watch you in pain without trying to help. They can't stay calm when someone speaks badly about you. They can't pretend not to care because caring is automatic. When two people like each other, there is a strange push and pull tension that neither side fully controls. You try to act normal, but your voice changes when they walk into the room. Your heartbeat shifts. You notice their mood even when they say they're fine. That's not imagination. That's emotional intuition, sharpened by attraction. Old Stoic wisdom says control your emotions, but real attraction tests that discipline, challenges the iron mind, and demands honesty. Whether you admit it or not, the connection is real. Think about it. They treat you differently than everyone else, not in loud, dramatic ways, but in small, precise ways that reveal true emotional investment. They notice your tone. They notice your silence. They ask you okay, even when you never said anything was wrong. That is not politeness. That is instinct. People don't ask those questions unless something deeper is happening. And you feel it too. You sense when something is wrong with them even when they say nothing. You read it in their eyes. You hear it in their voice. You feel it in their energy. Attraction sharpens intuition. It builds a bridge between two minds, silent, powerful, undeniable. And that is exactly why both sides feel the need to protect each other. Protection is the unspoken proof of care. When you like someone, you don't want to see them hurt. You don't want to see them disrespected. Even a small criticism from others makes you tense. You come to their defense, sometimes out loud, sometimes quietly. You want to shield them from stress, pressure, judgment, even from their own doubts. You become a silent guardian. That kind of protectiveness is not logical, it's emotional instinct. It's nature. It's human. In a world that teaches men to stay emotionless and detached, this kind of deep connection challenges everything. But remember Marcus Aurelius and Old Stoic wisdom. Strength is not the absence of emotion. Strength is control over emotion. You must maintain an iron mind while understanding that caring deeply is not weakness. It is a sign of courage. Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said, forget what you did, but never forget how you made them feel." That is the metric of truth. Don't run from it. Don't stand in emotional no man's land forever. At some point, you must face the reality and decide, do you want to keep pretending, or do you want to live with clarity and purpose? In modern life, we hide behind social media, emojis, short messages, strategic silence, but the real test of character is emotional honesty. You must ask yourself, are you acting strong or are you avoiding truth? You must not let fear decide your future. Let Stoicism win, use self-control, but don't confuse control with denial. When someone truly matters, denying it only drains your energy. Recognize the signs. Understand the tension. Trust your intuition. That is how men with an iron mind evolve emotionally. Real strength is not detachment. Real strength is clarity. Don't bury what you feel, master it. Don't suppress connection, understand it. Don't retreat in fear, step forward with discipline. As Seneca said, brave men rejoice in adversity, just as brave soldiers triumph in war. Attraction is not the enemy. Confusion is. Let your next move be deliberate. Let Old Stoic wisdom guide your heart, not just your mind. Detect the feeling, but then direct the feeling. That is how you move from uncertainty to power. That is how you master your psychology. That is how you win. 4. The unmistakable sign, presence in mind. There's one psychological sign that exposes everything, presence in the mind, and if you recognize it, don't ignore it. Be aware of how drastically someone's behavior shifts when you're around. Don't analyze what they say to others. Listen to how their voice softens only with you, how their tone becomes slower, how their words seem carefully picked, as if they're afraid to damage something delicate. That is not coincidence. That is emotional prioritization, the mind's way of saying, this person matters. The high value man understands this because the mind gives special treatment to the ones it secretly fears losing. Their eyes follow you differently, they hover on your presence, and their rhythm changes like a heartbeat under pressure. They act confident, but look closer. That confidence starts to crack. They fidget. They straighten their back like they suddenly remembered what posture is. Their breathing gets shallow. Their voice shifts an octave. Psychology reveals what most men miss. Attraction is a biological stress response. You don't plan it. Your brain just does it. When someone carries real masculine energy, their presence triggers heightened awareness, the same way danger does, but sweeter. And when a woman feels it from a high-value man, she can't always explain it. She just feels it. She becomes alert. She becomes careful. She wants to look composed, but can't fully control it, and that's the giveaway. You must understand, if someone acts bold with everyone else, but becomes softer, warmer, or more cautious with you, don't doubt it. You are the exception. That is exactly how you attract women without chasing them. That is masculine energy doing the talking for you. But here's where it gets stronger. They notice your absence. When you walk away, they look for you. When you take too long to reply, they feel it. When you go quiet, they wonder why. They may not admit it, but that silence starts battles inside their mind. They start conversations about nothing just to pull your attention back. A random meme, a pointless question, a teasing comment. Don't overlook it. That is emotional survival because being ignored feels worse than being accidentally annoying. Humans don't chase what means nothing. We chase what makes us feel alive. And sometimes the toughest battlefield is not the conversation, but the space between conversations. That's when both people feel everything but say nothing. You must realize that mutual attraction often hides behind restraint. People don't hold back because they don't care. They hold back because they care too much. They fear ruining the friendship, fear rejection, fear opening the door to something bigger than they're prepared to handle. That is why you both live in almost, trapped in a quiet standoff between feelings and fear. But chemistry doesn't die. It waits. It learns patience. Yet it always finds a way to speak, especially during goodbyes. Don't rush those final seconds. Watch the hesitation, the subtle delay, the pause that doesn't belong to a casual farewell. They linger. They hover. Their body stays even when they say they're leaving. Psychology calls this attachment hesitation, the brain trying to stretch time around someone it doesn't want to lose. A high-value man notices this, and he doesn't ignore it. He moves with intention. That is how you attract women effortlessly, by recognizing the truth behind their silence. And when you're gone, the strange magic grows stronger. Your presence leaves an echo inside their mind. They revisit memories like favorite songs. They replay glances. They hear conversations long after they've ended. That's not obsession. That is emotional relevance. And if you're honest, you do the same. You check your phone a little too often. You hope their name shows up. You look for reasons to reach out. You draft messages you never send. Masculine energy doesn't deny this, it understands it. Sometimes the proof doesn't come in words, but in digital footprints. They view your stories, like your posts, react to your updates, not loudly, but consistently. They don't seek attention, they seek presence. Even silence becomes a language. When you don't show up one day, they notice. When you withdraw your attention, they feel the void. That is the psychology of emotional imprinting. Meanwhile, another instinct quietly awakens, territorial sensitivity. Not jealousy, not anger, just a flicker in their eyes when someone else gets too close. It's subtle, but real, the silent message. I don't want to lose what I haven't even confessed wanting. You must understand, that too is a sign. One more powerful than words. But perhaps the deepest sign of all? They remember your pain. They remember your scars, your silent battles, your quiet nights. People who only like your beauty forget you. But the ones who truly care, they notice your silence even when you smile. They hear sadness behind your jokes. They ask if you're okay, even when you swear you are. That is not curiosity, that is emotional investment. And when you finally open up, even just a little, they listen without distraction. No phone, no noise, no rush, just presence. That is what a high value man gives, and that is what attracts women more than flashy words ever could. Because when connection is real, comfort takes the back seat, care takes the wheel. And even when both of you try to bury it, ignore it, distance from it, somehow you always circle back. That is because real mutual attraction has gravity. You can walk away, but your emotions don't follow. So be aware. When their goodbyes feel heavy, when their silence feels loud, when their presence lingers long after they've left, that is no accident. That is truth. And if you feel it too, don't run from it. Be bold. Be calm. Be the high value man. Let your masculine energy speak for you, and watch how naturally you attract women without ever having to chase. Truth doesn't knock, it echoes. Listen to it. 5. The pulse of emotional synchronization, when your moods start matching each other. A powerful moment arrives when two people who haven't said a word about their feelings start reacting to each other like two instruments tuned to the same frequency. Psychology calls it emotional mirroring, and when it happens, you must pay attention. It's not random. It's not coincidence. It's the pulse of something real. You smile, her mood rises. You fall silent, her tone softens. Your internal weather changes, and suddenly, she's adjusting her temperature. That is not small talk. That is psychological significance. As Marcus Aurelius, the great voice of Old Stoic wisdom, said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your thoughts begin to color someone else's emotional state, you're no longer just present, you're influential. In today's modern world where distractions are endless, emotional synchronization is rare. That is why you must recognize it as a signal of genuine connection. Don't overlook it. Don't dismiss it. A high-value man studies this quietly, like a general reading enemy movement on a map. Emotional mirroring means you've entered her psychological space without knocking. It's subtle, it's powerful, it's real. And it proves what Stoicism teaches. Strength is not noise. Strength is quiet influence. You don't need flashy tactics or loud charm. A real man doesn't chase approval. He becomes the gravity that others orbit around. Don't try to impress. Instead, be present. As Carl Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. When she starts matching your pace, your mood, your tone, that is transformation. That is the psychological confirmation that you have become meaningful. Not a stranger, not a random man, but a force in her emotional landscape. Remember, people do not mirror those they don't care about. We only sync with someone who has become psychologically relevant. So when her laughter aligns with yours, when her silence shadows yours, when her eyes search your expression before forming her own, understand what is happening. That is attraction without words. That is a pulse beneath logic. That is your presence doing the work your performance never could. Don't fake confidence, develop an iron mind. Don't force interest, earn it with calm, deliberate energy. In this fast-paced world, most men speak loudly but say nothing. Don't be that man. Speak less. Observe more. Let your energy lead the conversation before your words even begin. That is the way of Old Stoic wisdom, presence over performance, stillness over struggle. Modern life rewards noise, but true power belongs to the man who doesn't need attention to command respect. Let your silence speak. Let your composure lead. Let her feel the steadiness in your posture and the clarity in your gaze. Women don't follow chaos. They follow certainty. Build your iron mind and watch emotional synchronization reveal itself like a compass pointing north. You must understand, when she begins to match your emotional rhythm, she isn't just being polite, she is signaling that you matter. Don't question it. Don't rush it. Let it develop naturally. That is how Stoicism operates in real life, not as philosophy, but as strategy. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Attraction built on emotional mirroring isn't impulsive, it's layered, steady, undeniable. So carry yourself like a man who already knows who he is. Walk with internal gravity. Let your words be few but meaningful. That is how you master this life. That is how you earn quiet respect. That is how you build a connection that does not need noise to be real. Don't wait for validation. Don't ask for signs. Read the room like a leader. When her energy moves with yours, move with confidence. Keep your iron mind steady. Let your presence speak. Let your psychology lead. And remember, emotional synchronization is not a game. It is confirmation. It is signal. It is victory. 6. The test of playful resistance. When they push to see if you'll stay. Here's the twist most men never see coming. Sometimes attraction doesn't show up wearing a smile, it shows up wearing armor. And if you don't understand this, you'll walk away from someone who actually likes you. One of the most fascinating psychology tricks in dating is something called defense flirting, when a person secretly has feelings but uses resistance as a disguise. That's right, when someone likes you but fears vulnerability, they don't always become soft. Sometimes they become sharp. They tease you. They disagree just a bit too fast. They withdraw their attention like it's a limited edition product. Why? To run a test. The test is simple. Will you stay if things aren't always easy? That is female psychology in action, the mind protecting the heart. Think of it like weather. Sunny days are pleasant, sure, but storms reveal real strength. They cancel plans just to see if you react with neediness or with confidence. They delay their reply just to see if your interest was impulse or intention. They step backward first to see if your energy steps forward. Don't misread this. It's not rejection. It's hesitation wearing a helmet. A heart doing security checks before opening the gate. One of the oldest psychology tricks in the book. They're not pushing you away forever. They're nudging you just to see if you stabilize or crumble. They're asking a silent question, are you real? Or just another temporary thrill. Don't chase validation. Be grounded. A high-value man doesn't panic when things get quiet. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't rush to prove his worth. He walks with it. That is how to fall in love the right way, not through constant persuasion, but through consistent presence. That is masculine energy, controlled power, not emotional chaos. Be calm when she's distant. Be gracious when she's challenging. If she pushes, don't push back. Don't crack. Hold your ground. That's emotional strength. That's attractive. That's leadership. Let's be honest, modern dating is not a straight path. It's a maze of signals, delays, and occasional games. But don't complain about the maze. Learn how to walk through it. Learn female psychology not to manipulate, but to navigate. When someone tests you, it doesn't always mean they doubt you. Sometimes it means they doubt themselves. Vulnerability can be terrifying. They want connection but fear disappointment. So they create friction, a challenge, a small storm. Not to scare you away, but to see if you walk out the door when the wind picks up. This is how to fall in love slowly, carefully, intelligently. Let's not pretend. Sometimes they'll even act like they don't care. They'll say things like, I'm busy or I don't know what I want. But watch their eyes. Watch their patterns. When their actions wobble, but their eyes linger just a second too long, that matters. When they look away quickly after every playful jab, that matters. This is the heartbeat behind defense flirting. The heart speaks one language. Pride speaks another. You must not react emotionally. React wisely. Don't interpret every delay as rejection. Don't interpret every challenge as a deal breaker. Sometimes it is simply their way of whispering, please don't disappear if I pull back. Your calm is the answer. Your patience is the proof. Your presence is the test result. A witty way to see it, they're offering the motions of a poker game while hoping your cards are real. The moment you fold, they confirm what they feared. The moment you remain calm, they start to believe. And trust me, belief is the moment attraction becomes respect. That is psychology tricks at work. That is female psychology under the surface. Don't take teasing personally. Take it as data. Don't take slow replies as rejection. Take them as rhythm. When the dance slows down, don't freeze. Lead with calm energy. Speak with intention. That is how a high-value man operates. That is how to fall in love and stay there with dignity. Remember this: real attraction is not built in comfort. It's built in contrast. Anyone can act confident when things are easy. But when someone pulls away and you stay patient, composed, unshaken, you separate yourself from the crowd. Most men panic. Most men react. But the man who breathes, observes, and remains steady, that man becomes unforgettable. So next time someone becomes harder to read, don't run. Don't chase. Don't force. Be present. Be steady. Be the calm they didn't expect. Because sometimes they push you away just to see if you'll stay. And when you do, they finally exhale. That is the beginning of real connection. That is the silent doorway to intimacy. That is how the heart surrenders, carefully but completely. If this opened your eyes, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and don't forget to subscribe for more real psychology and relationship wisdom. Your calm is your power, so here's your reminder. Positive affirmation: I stay calm when emotions get tested. Drop that in the comments to signal you're the man who doesn't crack under pressure. You hold your center when others try to shake it. 7. The eye contact that lasts too long and says too much. Words can play games. Eyes never do. A woman might craft her sentences carefully, but her gaze? That's the truth with no filter. Psychology calls it the prolonged gaze, that split second when eye contact doesn't end where it normally should. It lingers. It stretches. It hangs in the air like a question neither of you wants to answer out loud. It's not awkward, not aggressive, and definitely not casual. It's charged. It's deliberate. And it's one of the oldest signals of attraction human beings still understand without needing a dictionary. Don't overthink it. Don't look away. Don't ruin the moment by doubting what your instincts already know. That prolonged stare is nature's way of bypassing conversation and sending a direct message to your nervous system. There's energy here. Do you feel it too? A high-value man doesn't flinch when her eyes meet his. He welcomes it. He doesn't twitch, fumble with his drink, or search for an escape route. He understands that eye contact is not just a look, it's a test. And you must pass that test with calm, steady, masculine energy. Be the man who doesn't blink first. That is masculine energy in action, not loud, not showy, but grounded and unshaken. Women are not just attracted to looks or charm. They are drawn to presence, especially presence that feels solid and safe. When a woman holds your gaze, even for a moment longer than she needs to, your reaction reveals everything. Are you confident or uncomfortable? Are you a high-value man or a timid observer of your own life? You must understand, women read men in seconds. They don't rely on logic. They rely on feeling. And eye contact is the fastest emotional X-ray machine ever invented. It bypasses the brain and speaks straight to the body. Don't pretend you didn't notice it, because she definitely did. Don't look away to seem polite. That only signals uncertainty. The man who learns to stand inside that moment, without apology, without anxiety, naturally attracts women. That is the kind of masculine energy that draws attention without begging for it. It's the quiet power of being comfortable in your own skin, not chasing approval, not trying to impress, simply existing with conviction. Think about it. How many interactions in life are rushed, distracted, or filtered through screens? That rare moment when two sets of eyes meet and stay, that's human connection in its rawest form. You must respect it. You must recognize it for what it is. If she keeps holding your gaze, is that an accident? No, that's not coincidence. That's communication. That's interest. That's attraction simmering beneath the calm surface. It's her heart taking a risk when her mouth isn't ready to. A woman might never admit it verbally, but her eyes will always arrive at the truth before her lips do. Don't dismiss that as imagination. Don't stutter with your body language. Be still. Be aware. Be intentional. Remember, prolonged eye contact is not always about seduction. It's about comfort. A woman only holds eye contact with a man she feels safe with. And safety is the secret magnet that truly attracts women. A high-value man creates that feeling naturally, not by forcing it, but by standing firm in his masculine energy. No bragging, no bravado, just unshaken presence. That is what women respond to, even if they never admit it out loud. So when it happens, when her eyes lock with yours and stay there longer than necessary, don't laugh it off. Don't dodge it. Don't kill the moment with nervousness. That is not weakness. That is an invitation written in silence. You must treat it as such. Because in that silent exchange lies everything you've been trying to figure out about attraction, connection, and communication. Sometimes, the most eloquent message is the one you never speak. When her gaze lingers, accept it. When you feel the air shift, welcome it. When instinct whispers, there's something here, trust it. If you want to attract women and live as a high-value man, learn to speak the language that needs no words. Eye contact is not just a glance, it is a doorway, and only the confident walk through it. So in the end, there's something important to remember. You don't need a confession to know when feelings are real. When two people naturally protect the connection, when they think twice before hurting each other, and when the smallest silence feels heavy, that's not confusion. That's your heart giving you the answer. My advice? Don't run from it. If somebody makes you feel safe, understood, and deeply seen, don't ignore it out of fear. Feelings are rare. Genuine connection is rare. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is simply to admit what your heart already knows. Hey, thank you so much for spending your time with this video. I appreciate you being here. If this message made something inside you feel understood, don't leave it here. Carry it with you. And maybe share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Take care of your mind, listen to your heart, and remember, real connection doesn't happen every day. See you in the next one.